Um, Once again, really proud of our team. Great win. Super, just happy for our seniors and for them to be able to finish their home career the way they did last night. Unbelievably competitive game. Both teams battled really, really hard. It was a physical game. I thought our guys played with great effort. Made plenty of mistakes. To have to overcome, but the good news is we did, and made a lot of big plays. Obviously, the takeaways were huge, and that's kind of been the story for us all year is, winning that turnover margin. And so it was good to be able to come out on top there in the time of possession, and, some third downs, and just a really, really good team effort in all three phases. We were able to do some really good things. Had some mistakes in all three phases too, but just a great team win, hard fought, and really proud of them. So look forward to getting ready for this next one. Obviously, we got one more big one here, state championship, and diving into those guys now, and look forward to having a great week of preparation and seeing if we can keep our momentum going. Really proud of these guys for, again, how they battled all year long, and it's been fun to watch them, be rewarded for their effort and put some good momentum together here these last few weeks. Any questions?
Coach, it's Trevor from CUTigers.com. Everybody come out healthy yesterday?
Pretty good shape, except Bo. It'll probably be a day-to-day type of thing. Just see how sore he is. Hopefully that'll go away quick, but don't know. He's probably the biggest one. But everybody else, I think we're in pretty good shape.
I was curious, were you surprised at all that Coach Brown decided to go for the 2-point conversion there to cut the lead to 9?
Man, I'm not gonna get into judging his decision making. That's his decision making, and I'll let that be up to him. He's been doing this a lot longer than me, so I'm just glad we won the game. So
gotcha. Coach,
hey,
go ahead, Chapel.
Yeah, sorry, Trevor. Hey, Dabo, it's Chapel with the State. Obviously, just diving into the film, but for South Carolina to win 3 straight and get on the verge of bowl eligibility, what do you think has kind of been the key to their late season momentum, just kind of like y'all have had?
Well, I mean, like I said, I have not been studying them, so I'll probably be in a little better spot to answer that on Tuesday. After 3 days of getting caught up and watching some tape, but I think like us, we've been at home these past 3 weeks. I think they've been at home as well. So, they've just, they play. That's a tough place to play. I don't really know much more than the fact that they've been able to create some turnovers. I think that's been a factor, and they've got some guys that are playing, with some consistency for them, making some plays. Quarterback's really good player, but have not studied them yet. So just kind of diving into that this afternoon.
Yeah, but it's Larry. You look like y'all did the by committee thing at tight end in place of Ennis. Just curious for your evaluation how that went.
We got some of our heavy. Just ended up with a lot of heavy package type stuff. Just kind of the way some of the game went situationally, and I think Banks Pope got in there for some of our heavy stuff. I mean, he's a tough physical kid, and Sapp was able to jump in there. We didn't get quite as much with Olsen. He's a little bit more of a factor in the pass game right now. He's still kind of developing the trust in the run game with all the little nuances there. But so hey, yeah, I mean, we just we won the game and put up a bunch of yards, rushed for 250 yards or so. So it wasn't perfect, but they got the job done.
Hey, Coach, it's Trevor again. Aiden's been great all season, and your punt coverage has been great as well. But the last couple of weeks, they let a couple bounce into the end zone. I was wondering, do you coach them to try to catch the ball in the air? It looked like they might have been able to do that yesterday.
Yeah, well, the one last week was I think the punt was a little further, but yeah, we definitely try to catch it. It's what we coach them to do. If we can get down there, I thought we could have caught it yesterday. We didn't, but hey, Ronan is a freshman and he's learning, and sometimes they don't always do what you coach them to do, but that's certainly what we would like to have happened in that situation. And and you also hope the ball is going to not kick forward there, but it did and kind of got by him. But his field position's huge, but he has been good. And I thought we struggled early in the game with the field position, but then we kind of got control of it. I thought we did a good job of really winning that battle as the game went on. And again, he had 350+ yard punts and was also able to pin them down in there with a sky as well.
Hey,
Coach,
Dabo,
it's
this is
David Hood.
Anna.
Just the thoughts on the offensive line yesterday. No sacks, obviously rushing for 247 yards. And I know you mix and match some, but just thoughts after watching the film.
Yeah, I mean, they're battling. They're competing. Same thing. I mean, there's play here or there where, maybe we stay on the double team a little too long, don't climb quite as quick. Maybe we don't get our eyes quite on that shooting backer. A couple of times, little bit of leakage on protection, whether it was technique or fundamentals or just late with our eyes on something. But they played well. I mean, again, no sacks, and we got that run game going, and we had some great blocks. We had some great blocks. So there were more pluses than minuses, and that's always what you want to see. And, we had good things. We had a couple of penalties. That was the biggest disappointment. With some of the penalties that we had, offsides, had a hold in, just a couple of technique, fundamental things that got us. Got grabbed and pulled one time because we got a little heavy and leaning forward, but all in all, I thought they did a heck of a job. And again, those guys ran really hard behind them. There was a couple of big plays where the protection was really, really good, and he had a nice, clean pocket. So I thought they battled. I thought they all battled, and kind of rolled. I guess we played about 7 guys or so, and kind of rolling them in there and trying to keep some of those guys who haven't played as much, as fresh as we can, and then see who gets the hot hand.
Hey, Dabo, this is Anna. I know, the play before halftime, Cade wasn't necessarily supposed to run it there, but otherwise it seemed like he was running with quite a bit of confidence yesterday. Do you feel like that was maybe one of the more better parts of his game yesterday?
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, that was a huge part of it, and especially with they were really playing aggressive and coming off the edge, and he just did a nice job. He did, and not just running it, but he did a good job with his decision making. And I thought he ran with good vision. And I mean, he still looks like a baby deer running around out there. But he's gonna continue to fill out, and another year in the weight room, and probably another 10 pounds or so. I think you're just going to see that part of his game continue to get better. He's improved greatly. I think we all can see that from where he was at the beginning of the year to where he is now. And you've got some design run stuff that you want him to do a good job, but it's also just the pocket presence of when to run on some of the scrambles and things. And so I was really proud of him. He made some big plays, a couple of really good decisions, and had good poise. I mean, he did a nice job with his patience on the draw that hit for a touchdown. I thought that was really good. Had a couple of gritty yards. So big day for him as well with his legs.
Hey, Coach, it's Trevor again. May had some big scrambles yesterday, and I'm sure that's something that you were conscious of going into the game. But how will that help your defense facing Rattler next week? As another quarterback who can move pretty well.
Yeah, they're not going to be real happy when they watch the tape because we did not do a great job with our rush lanes and we missed tackles. We didn't tackle him well, And listen, that guy's an elite player. He really is. He's got a ton of awareness, and when he runs, I mean, he's hard to tackle. He's a big old dude, and he's crafty. So it definitely will make us better because we got a lot of good stuff. He ran for 87 yards on us, so nobody's going to be happy. I mean, 67 with the sack yardage coming off. But nobody's going to be happy about the tape because we just gave up too many big plays, and it was a couple of times where we had two guys in the same gap, and then some other times we just didn't make the tackle. The big long run with Nate, they just freaking ran over us. So we've got to clean up some stuff for sure. And then the quarterback, he just made too many plays to extend. We didn't keep him in the pocket on the one time where he scrambled off to the right and bought some time, and then made a beautiful throw down the field on that touchdown. So it's definitely a game that we can build off of as we get ready to play another really good quarterback in Rattler.
Dabo's Larry again. How about some of those quick hitting runs with Hampton first downs? Was that largely misfits, or do we all getting blocked more than you want to on some of those as well?
No, we more missed tackles and misfits. Two of them, we had two guys in the same gap. Can't happen. Again, and then we had a couple where he just broke the tackle. I mean, he just did a good job breaking the tackle, and so that was. I mean, he's a great player. I mean, that kid's really, really good, and these guys have seen some good backs, and just did not think we were consistent enough. We obviously created the takeaways, did a good job in the red zone, but we got to be a little more consistent with just doing some of the little things that we need to do to not give, especially if we're playing a lot of man coverage. We've got to be disciplined in doing our job and being where we're supposed to be. And then you got open field tackles. You got to tackle well. I mean, that's just the nature of it, and we've really done a good job of that. But Saturday we had too many missed tackles that extended plays, and two or three misfits that hurt us.
Hey, Coach, it's Trevor again. I'm sure at this point you're used to facing your former players in this day and age with the transfer portal. Liam Boyd did a good job yesterday, 4 touchbacks on his kickoffs. I'm just curious if he had stayed. He obviously redshirted last year, but would he have been an option to step in for Robert Gunn, or would you have still reached out to Jonathan if he had stayed?
I mean, he definitely would have been an option if he had been here, but he's not here, so I mean, it wasn't an option. But
right. I was just wondering, like how like where he was in his development.
He was competing. I mean, he was competing very well, but I think again he decided to move on, and that's a walk-on guy. I thought he had a lot of potential. He was a recruited walk-on for us. A guy that we recruited in here. I'm excited that he came, and I think he's got really good ability. But he's just kind of doing kickoffs for him right now. So who knows how his career will go. But I think anybody that was here that's on this roster, we've been able to look at and evaluate and give opportunity. So he wasn't here, so we couldn't evaluate him and look at him. He's not here, so that's why we reached out to Whites and brought him in.
Were you able to say hello to him or anything after the game?
I did not get to see him. I didn't see anybody after the game other than 50,000 people. It was a crazy thing. No, I didn't get to see him. But happy for him.
It's Larry again. This might be a stupid question, but just curious: is Avon, in your mind, is he more advanced than his brother was at the same period?
I mean, maybe just because I think he's it's because of his brother. He's just had such a great model to watch. And not just a model, but a guy that's a first round draft pick. And I just think he's been exposed to so much. I mean, AJ was elite when he came in here as a freshman. The moment he got here, I mean, you knew this guy was special. And he was really just truly about his business all the time. And but yeah, I would say Avion has probably benefited from his brother and benefited from just being exposed to the game and his position specifics at such a high level. So and he's a hard worker, man. I mean, the kid's a grinder. He's been grinding for a long time. I remember I saw him. I saw him in camp. He was going in the 9th grade. He came to camp. We put him up with the seniors. He's a little bitty guy out there, and he was locking them all down, and just competing his butt off. And knew he was going to be a special one. He was one of those few guys that we offered really early. We don't really offer many guys early, but I've known him since he was in about the 6th or 7th grade. So, really, really proud of him. I mean, he's doing a great job. It's been fun to watch him, take advantage of the opportunity.
Hey, Coach, it's David again. Just after you had a chance to watch Nate Wiggins strip fumble on film, what were your thoughts? And is that, a piece of film that you can teach guys in the years going forward about this is how you do it. This is how you don't give up on a play.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, be talking about that for the rest of my coaching career. I mean, and so will a lot of other people. I mean, that just was incredible. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, that kid can absolutely fly, and there's a lot of people that are fast, but then there's people that are as fast as they need to be. And, whatever the moment requires. And man, it was something. And I tell you what, Makuba's effort on the play was amazing as well. I mean, it was amazing because, and if you really study it, he dives out and he just kind of clips his heel. And I think that little bit of a clip maybe allowed that millisecond more time for Nate to get there. But I think he was running, he was at 22, a little over 22 miles per hour. I mean, just smoking. So just a great play. Truly one of the greatest plays I've seen, especially in person. And it was such a momentum change, as those things are, right? I mean, those are huge momentum type thing. We've been on the other side of that, as y'all know, this year, where you have some big plays and you're racking up some yards and you're going in to score. And next thing you know, the ball's going the other way, right? So I've been on both sides of it and understand the effects of that type of momentum. And again, boom, we go on an 80-yard touchdown drive to tie the game up right there. So just a special play, man. Special play and a heck of a game. I think he was our second leading tackler as well. I believe that's right. The Trotter led us. Yeah, he was second leading tackler as well, and had a couple PBUs, and then obviously the pick at the end of the game. So a lot of big plays, and probably the best game he's played in his career in totality.
Do you recall his miles per hour at Miami when he ran the?
I don't off the top of my head. I'd have to go back and look at it and compare it. But man, he was moving. He was moving. I'll find that out.
Guess we can't find out Teague's. There's no GPS numbers.
We didn't quite have GPS in those days, but if you can YouTube it or Google it or whatever, and I still remember that like it was yesterday. I mean, I couldn't even believe I just saw what I saw, and the crazy thing about that play, it's probably the greatest play I've seen that didn't even count because they hit the play and he goes and takes the ball and turns around going the other way, and everybody's like, "What just happened?" And but we had lined up in the neutral zone, so all of that, and they ended up getting the ball in 5 yards, but we stopped them anyway. But that was because obviously they would have declined if it had been a touchdown. So it was a huge play in that game, and kind of shut down their momentum. And I thought that's what happened with Nate the other night.
Hey, Dabo, Chapel again. You've coached a ton of these rivalry games. Can you just reflect on the importance of Clemson, South Carolina for this state, and also what it's like to be on the year-round losing side of that for the first time in a while?
Yeah, it's no fun. That's for sure. I mean, these games are huge. It's going all over the country. It's a fun week to be a part of these type of games. Alabama, Auburn, Clemson, South Carolina, Georgia Tech, Florida State, Michigan, Ohio State. You got all kind of games like this going on throughout the country, and it's a fun week. It really is. But just for me personally, part of 13 Alabama Auburn games, those are special memories, and I mean, just the intensity of it. And then you come up here, and now I'm going on my 21st Clemson, South Carolina game. I got a lot of great memories, and I got some bad ones. So that's kind of why it's a rivalry game. But it means a lot to a lot of people, and we all know that. That's why it's a goal of its own. It's kind of a season of its own, regardless of what your record is. I mean, whether you're undefeated or you hadn't won a single game, this week is unique, and it's different, and it's the preparation is the same, but it's just a game that everybody's going to live with for the next year, and you're going to hear about it all the time. So it's great to win it, and it stinks when you don't. That's for sure.
Anyone else for Coach? All right, thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.